Good governance might sound like a very formal, complex term, but it's actually a simple idea. It's the how. It's not just what a government decides, but how it makes that decision and how it puts that decision into action. It's the set of rules and practices that make a system fair, responsible, and effective. Think of it as the operating system for a healthy society or organization. So why should we care about this? Because the difference between good and bad governance is the difference between a country that works and one that doesn't. Bad governance looks like corruption, where leaders steal public money. It looks like instability and conflict. Good governance is the antidote. It builds trust. It creates stability. It allows an economy to grow, and it protects the basic rights of all its citizens. The first and most important principle is participation. This means everyone, regardless of their background, should have a voice. The people who are affected by a decision should have a say in that decision. This can happen directly, like when you speak at a town hall, or through representatives you elect to speak for you. It's the fundamental right to be heard. The most common way we participate is by voting in elections. But it goes so much deeper than that. When your parents go to a school board meeting to talk about a new policy, that's participation. When your neighborhood association gets together to ask the city for a new stop sign, that's participation. It's any time citizens get together to make their voices heard by the people in power. Next is the rule of law. This is probably the most important principle. It's the idea that the law is king. No one, not the president, not the richest person in the country, not a police officer, is above the law. It means the rules are clear, public, and applied equally to everyone. This is the main thing that protects citizens from a ruler's random, arbitrary power. What does the rule of law look like in real life? It looks like a billionaire getting a ticket for running a red light, the same as anyone else. It's the legal system ensuring that a small business owner's contract is just as binding and enforceable as a mega corporation's. It's the guarantee that if you are accused of a crime, you have the right to a fair public trial, no matter who you are or where you come from. Transparency is just a fancy word for openness. It means you should be able to see what your government is doing, the decisions being made, the budgets being spent, the data being collected. It shouldn't be a state secret. As a famous judge once said, sunshine is the best disinfectant. When leaders know that people are watching, they are much less likely to do something corrupt or dishonest. A great example of transparency in the US is the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. This is a law that gives any citizen the right to request documents and records from the federal government. On a local level, it's the law that says your city council has to post its budget online so you can see exactly how your tax dollars are being spent. It's why many government meetings must be open to the public, not held behind locked doors. If transparency is about seeing what's done, accountability is about answering for what's done. It's the who's responsible principle. It means that officials have to explain their actions and decisions to the public. And if they make a bad decision or break the rules, there has to be a real consequence. The biggest tool for accountability is, of course, elections. If a politician does a poor job or breaks their promises, we, the people, have the right to fire them at the ballot box. But it also happens on a daily basis. When a journalist investigates a politician and exposes wrongdoing, that's the press acting as a watchdog to hold them accountable. Responsiveness means that a government actually serves the people it governs. It has to listen to the needs of the community and respond to them. It's not enough to just exist. It has to help. Think of your government like a customer service provider. The citizens are the customers. The government's job is to respond to their needs. You see responsiveness in action all the time. When you use an app to report a giant pothole on your street and the city actually comes and fixes it within a few days, that's responsiveness. When a natural disaster hits and emergency services show up quickly with food, water, and shelter, that is responsiveness. It's the government listening to a problem and then acting to solve it. This one is a two-parter: effectiveness and efficiency. Effective means the government is doing the right things. It's passing policies that actually solve the problem, like improving public health or reducing crime. Efficient means it's doing those things well. It's not wasting your tax money, not taking 6 years to do a one-year project, and not hiring 10 people to do one person's job. What does this look like? An effective and efficient government is a public bus system that's clean, safe, affordable, and actually runs on time. It's a public service that lets you renew your driver's license online in 5 minutes instead of making you wait in line at the DMV for 3 hours. It's about getting the best possible result for the community with the least amount of waste. Equity and inclusiveness is the principle that everyone should have a seat at the table. A society can't be well governed if it's only working for one small group. This principle means that all voices, especially those of the most vulnerable or marginalized, are heard and considered when decisions are made. It's about making sure everyone feels like they have a stake in their community's future. A simple, powerful example is the Americans with Disabilities Act. This law requires public buildings to have things like wheelchair ramps and accessible restrooms. That's a perfect example of inclusiveness. It redesigns the public space so that everyone can participate. Other examples include laws that ban discrimination in hiring, or a city providing important public health information in multiple languages to serve its immigrant communities. Consensus-oriented is one of the toughest but most important principles. In any diverse society, people will disagree, a lot. This principle means the government should act as a mediator. It should listen to all sides, the business owners, the environmentalists, the homeowners, and try to find a balanced solution that everyone can live with. It's not about a 51% winner-take-all victory, but about finding a long-term sustainable path forward for the whole community. We usually think of governance as applying to the government, and that's its main application. When a national government follows these principles, it builds trust with its people. It's also more attractive to the rest of the world. Other countries and companies are far more willing to trade with and invest in a nation that has a clear rule of law, low corruption, and high transparency. But these principles aren't just for governments. They apply to any large organization. Corporate governance is the same idea for a business. Shareholders demand transparency in finances and accountability from the CEO. Employees demand to be treated with equity. Nonprofit governance ensures that donor money is actually spent effectively to help the cause, not on wasteful administrative costs. Finally, it's crucial to remember that good governance is not a finish line. You don't just achieve it and then you're done like a video game. It's a constant process. It's an ideal that a society is always striving for. It takes constant work, vigilance, and most importantly, the active participation of all of us, the citizens, to hold our institutions accountable and make sure they are serving the public good.